Hey folks, this is Doc Fire from Custom Cockers, and I did a video here a few days ago, or it's 2 days ago, and I showed a little bit about suction timing on the Predators and the Retro Series Suction Design cockers. And I always want to keep testing to make sure that I've got everything right, and I'm not sure I don't want bad information out there. So let's see if it's still, yeah, see, it's still sucking in there. So that's that. So, and someone wanted me to see how the thing chronoed, so let's see. I haven't chronoed it for a while. I did do a little testing here to make sure everything worked. Run it back. Let's see if this is going to make me a liar or not. I think everything's in focus. Alright, put the hopper on. So I'm using a 680 Inception Designs barrel with the 689 upper tip. So it's kind of small and small. Get up there some really kind of old Nelson Anarchy. So if I drop it from about 3 feet onto a wooden deck, it will break. So it's a little brittle, but it's still round and seems to be in pretty decent shape. And actually, of all the paint, I love that paint. So let's see. So we just had the same gun. Let's turn on this. Let's turn the hopper on. Infinite. Everyone see everything? Let's see what it says. 278, 279, 278, 279, 283, 281. Alright, so you guys see that it's working. So let me zoom back out here. And so my next trick is let me pull off the hopper without losing everything out of it. Now, this was one of the other things that I saw that people were doing. And if you give me a second, I'm going to put a couple balls out. I know I have one in the chamber, so let me tilt the camera back up. And I'm going to turn the camera to the side a little bit here, guys, so I can shoot off. So I'm going to drop just a ball on top, and I'm going to fire it. Now, I know what's going to happen. Yep. Yeah, that ball didn't break. So it did. Put 2 balls in there. I'm going to just try to, you see that one come up? Now, it's not coming up a lot, so I'm trying to think, I go, why is it bobbling that ball up? I have suction timing, right? And I go, why is it doing that? Alright everyone, it's Doc Fire. Yeah, you only get my hands back, and I want to keep working on this blowback issue on these Inception Design guns. And I'm trying to think, I go, so let's start eliminating some of the things. So here's the bolt that it comes with, and I'll probably have to focus things in here. So you gotta bear with me, I don't have autofocus on. So this is the soft tip bolt. The next one I'm going to try is his new hard tip bolt that has the O-rings for the Inception bodies installed on it. So it's actually came out of my Hornet. And everyone's favorite, not really, ANS, just an ANS bolt that doesn't really have good or no ring, kind of a cheap bolt. Not cheap, it's just different. Venturi. My personal favorite stuff is AK. I think they got it right on a lot of things. And then just a standard Wargame Products, which I know is a loose fit. These O-rings don't really do anything. And let's just curious to see if we still have blowback. And we'll just do the ball test, where we put a ball in and then we fire it. So I'm going to try to put this on, find out where we are in focus land there. I think it's right about there. Let me zoom this guy out. And I think I'm in focus. We'll have to just guess on that. So we're going to start off with the hard face bolt. Make sure the port's the right way. That, and I'm going to grab my air tank. That would help. Come back with that. I think everything works. Drop one in there. My finger holding the back. Alright, I'm pretty sure we're going to get bobble on this. Yep, not that high. Okay, so that one did. So just curious. We'll pop out that one. Next one in will be the ANS. It doesn't matter which way this one goes. It just goes in there. Drop the ball in. Just a little bit of blowback. Interesting. Kind of curious. I'm going to sit over the chrono. You guys can't see this. That's shooting at 300. That's interesting. Very interesting. So maybe it's a bolt issue. So next one's the AKA bolt. Let's throw that guy in. Make sure the hole's in the right way. Yep. Put the bolt pin in. 2 balls. One in. One on top. There was no bobble at all. That's the AKA bolt. Very interesting. I think I may have the idea of what's going on here. So I'm going to pull that out. And then finally we're going to put in just a Wargames Delrin. And it doesn't have a locking pin on it, so I got to just hope everything doesn't fall apart on me. Okay, get that in. That guy in. And that one really bobbled. That one about a mile high. Yeah. So interesting, the AKA bolt. And so this is an AKA bolt. It's for a standard cocker. You see it's literally drops in. It's not a tight fit, so let's try that again. Make sure everything's lined up. Ooh, I had one in there. Alright. It kind of went up, but just barely. Alright, so with that, let's come back over to here with the AKA bolt in. I'm going to try to focus on that. I think I'm focused on it. Let's zoom in. Alright. Got a handful of balls here. I don't have my hopper over here. I think you guys can see everything. Yep. Oh, that one did bobble. Barely. Wow, 308. 308. 301. So I need 304. Okay, so that's... Let me zoom back out here. That's shooting 300. I'm just interested here. So, I'm going to pull that bolt out. I'm going to put the one that we did the test on, that I had suction time on. I'm going to put that bolt back in. Put that guy in, get a handful of balls. Load one in the chamber. I know I'm going to have bobble on this. Let's just see what the feet per second is. 288, 282, 288, 279, 276. Okay, so very interesting. So that's with the soft face bolt. I didn't adjust anything. Now let's see what the feet per second is on the hard face bolt with the O-rings. It kind of feels like it fits like the AKA bolt. Alright, got a handful of balls here. Alright. You zoom into this. Let's focus up on it. Right about there, looks focused. $275. Oh, there's 300. 295. Everything. 294. 300. 292. I don't know what I'm doing there. I think I'm short stroking it somehow. 292. So really interesting. So is there restriction being put on the bolt here? I want to degas this guy as I take apart the whole gun. Let me put this stuff away real quick. Alright, so I'm back. I'll probably have to clip that in. So, interesting. So, let me go under focus land here. So it's right about there. So, it's interesting. So, between these two bolts, is there a restriction going on? Let's look at the inlet holes, the same diameter. Let's get a third bolt here. This is the last one's the AKA bolt. I'll have to measure that out. The AKA's inlet's just a little larger diameter, not by much. The outlet on the AKA is almost the same as the outlet on the hard face. So maybe this is the issue. I know that there's been a lot of concerns and people having problems with the rubber tip being too tight, and you have to sand it down, and people are blowing them off, so you have to glue them on. You know, could this be the restriction area? Is this providing enough restriction that it's blowing, putting that force of that air that's behind the ball and in front of the bolt, it's trying to force that ball out, right? As it got so much restriction in here that it's blowing the air back around this O-ring right here, and that's where the air's going. I mean, I don't know, it's just a theory. You know, we try to test theories or try to do testing and get some facts, and you know, get a working hypothesis, and then come up with a theory on what it may be, and do some more testing, see if we can fix it. So all in all, I think if I were to order again, I'd probably stick with this bolt. And you know, you honestly can't go wrong with the good old AKA bolt. Although the new hard face from Reception Designs is designed for, you know, that their larger upper bore diameter. So it's got a little larger O-rings to accompany that. That will work in both guns, in both regular War Game Products guns and that. Now I do know that you know, at one time, I don't know if it was the Resurrections, AK mills, where their spec was a little larger diameter top bore, and so people would kit these bolts and take them out of their guns and then try to put them in their standard cocker, and that wouldn't fit. But then they went to a standard diameter. So I know there's some Merlins that are sitting out there that have a little larger diameter upper tube, which is essentially, I think, the same diameter as what Inception Designs are. So reality is, by dropping this in, I had almost zero blowback, and the FPS increased significantly. So I need to drop my everything down. So very interesting. So there we go.